Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to discuss the example for data descriptive. Here we have the situation for ungrouped data. So given where we have 16 entries, or we can say 16 data. So my suggestion is to construct a stem plot display. So in order to make our life easier when we are interpreting the data. So for this case, what we have to do is to find the minimum and the maximum value. And notice that from the entries, 8 is the minimum value and 40 is the maximum value. So referring to the stem plot display, what we have to do is to separate each score into two parts, namely the stem and the leaf. So for example, the first digit, we have to let it become the stem and the leaf for the second digit. So in here we have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So here we have 22, followed by 18, 19, 8, 24, 22, 22, 23, 16, 40, 10, 19, 30, 22, 24, 26. So here we have the situation. So next what we have to do is to rearrange all the score in a vertical manner from the smaller score to the bigger score for each stem, and the leaf are arranged in ascending order from the top to the bottom, from the left to the right. So kindly have the situation where we have stem and then we have the leaf. So here we have 0 and 8. So referring to the 1, where we have start with 0, followed by 6. Then we have 8 and 2 times for the 9. Next we have 2. Rearrange the situation. 2, 2, and 2, and 2. So where we have the situation. Next, 3, 2 times for the 4, and then we have 6. 3, 0, 4, 0. So kindly include a key, or we say the legend, to explain the meaning of the entries. So for example, key 0/8 means 8. Next, kindly refers to the situation. Find the mean, mode, median, variance, and the standard deviation. So by refers to the formula, where we have mean, denoted at x bar, equals to sum of all data divided by the numbers of data. So here we have the sum of all data, which is equals to 345 over the numbers of data, which is 16. So the mean will be equals to 21.5625. Round up the situation for 3 significant figure. So the mean will be equals to 21.6. Next, we have the mode. What does it mean by the mode? The value that occur most frequently. So by referring to the stem plot display, and we notice that the mode is 22 because occur for 4 times, and then the most frequently. Next is to find the median, where we can say it is a Q2. So in order to find the median or the Q2, what we have to do is to have the value entries 16 multiplied with 1/2. So the Q2 will be equals to the 8 terms. So by referring to the formula, where we have the value 8, 8 is an integer, is equals to the 8th term plus with the 9th term and divide by 2. So by referring to the stem plot display and identify the 8 terms. So here we have 8 as the first term, followed by 10 as the second term. Then we have 16 as the third, 18 as the fourth, and then 19 for 2 times as a 6. Then followed by the 8th term, which is equals to 22. Same goes to the 9th term, which is also 22. So the Q2 will be equals to 22 plus with the 22 over 2. So the median or the second quartile will be 22. Next, what we have to do is to find the variance and the standard deviation. So kindly state the formula for variance and standard deviation. So here we have the formula for ungrouped data. So the variance, which is x squared, equals to the summation for x squared minus bracket where we have the summation for x squared over the n over n minus 1. So here we have the formula for variance. So kindly substitute the value x squared. So means that every entry we need to square and then sum up. So where we have the refers to the calculator and the value will be 8259 for the summation for x squared minus with where we have the summation for all data which is 345 squared over the entries for all data is 16. Divide by 15. So here we have the value for variance. So by referring to the calculator, the variance would be 54.6625. If we round up to 3 significant figure, the variance will be equals to 54.7. So that will be the situation for variance. As for the standard deviation, what we have to do is to square root both sides. So S is equals to 7.3934. If we round up the situation for the standard deviation, so it will become 7.39 for the standard deviation. Next, what we have to do is to construct a box and whisker plot. So what we have to do is to find the 5-number summary, which is the minimum value, which is 8, followed by maximum value, which is 40, followed by the first quartile, second quartile, and the third quartile. So previously, we already identified the second quartile, which is 22. Next, refers to the first quartile, where we have 16 over 4. So the Q1 will be equals to the fourth terms. By referring to the value 4, it is an integer. So the formula for the first quartile will be the fourth term plus with the fifth terms divided by 2. So by referring to the stem plot display, find the fourth term, where we have 18 plus with the 19. So the value for the first quartile will be 18 plus with the 19 divided by 2. So the first quartile will be 18.5. To find the third quartile, where we have Q3 is equals to 16 multiplied with 304. And the third quartile will be the 12 terms. So by referring to the value 12, it is an integer. So Q3 will be equals to the 12th term plus with the 13 terms over 2. So by referring to the stem plot display, and we have the 12 and the 13 terms, which is equals to 24 for both. So what we have to do is to sum up and divide by 2. So the Q3 will be equals to 24. Next, what we have to do is to find the lower and the upper fence. So by referring to the lower fence, where we have the formula, the first quartile, 18.5 minus 1.5 multiplied with the interquartile range, where we have 24 minus 18.5. So the lower fence will be equals to 10.25 for the lower fence. Next, move on to the upper fence. By referring to the formula, where we have the Q3, which is 24, plus with 1.5 multiplied with the interquartile range, which is 24 minus 18.5. So in here we have the upper fence, which is equals to 32.25. So now we already have the 5-number summary. Lower fence, upper fence. Now is to draw a number line. Then locate the number for the number line using the suitable scale. So kindly refers to the numbers where we have the minimum value 8 and the maximum value 40. And we also notice that we have a lower fence and upper fence, which is in between the minimum and maximum. So my suggestion would be the starting point will be 0. Then we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and 45. Next, what we have to do is to mark and label the 5-number summary, followed by the upper fence and the lower fence. So here we have the minimum, and then we have the maximum 40, and the Q2, which is 22. Then we have Q1, which is 18.5. Next, we have the Q3, which is 24. Then we have a lower fence, which is 10.25. Next, we have the upper fence, which is 32.25. So label the situation. So where we have the minimum, and then followed by the lower fence, and Q1, Q2, Q3, upper fence, and maximum. Next is to connecting the Q1, Q2, and Q3 become a box. So here we have a box. Next is to connecting the lower fence to the Q1. Next, connecting the Q3 to the upper fence. Next, what we have to do is to find the difference between the Q1 and Q2, Q2 and Q3. So the difference between the Q1 to the Q2 is 3.5. Next, from the Q2 to Q3 is 2. So from here, we can say the situation is skewed towards the left. So skew to the left. Or we can say negatively skew. As for the outliers, we have, by referring to the stem plot data, the outliers will be the 8, the 10, and the 40. So here we are, and thanks for watching.